Are you tired of always feeling behind? Like it's never enough. You get everything accomplished off your to-do list, and you've got a very long to-do list, and you're checking off the boxes like a champ, but you still feel like it's not enough. I think that this is something that we all can relate to. So thank you for joining me today in this journey. I want to share with you of what it is costing you to constantly be wanting to do more and feeling like it's not enough. On the emotional level, it's costing you a lot, but it's also a matter of how you can regain your inner peace, your calmness, and that sense of accomplishment and fulfillment in your life and still get the things done that you need to get done, but also have a sense of calmness. So let's talk about the achievement treadmill. It's when you're on a treadmill. For those of you that have been on a treadmill or whenever you started off to run, you're on this treadmill and you know that feeling when you check something off your list, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I need to do this. You add one or two more things on the list. And then you feel like you're running behind immediately. And then you catch up a little bit and check a few more things off the list. And then you keep on adding to the ever growing list. And you're trying to get to the finish line, right? But the finish line keeps on moving. So you just keep on piling things on. And I know that it is one of those things that, especially whenever you want to achieve a lot of things, you want to get a lot of things done. You probably do have a long list. But when you're on this achievement treadmill, you keep on perpetuating the never ending story. You perpetuate that time that it's taking away from your rest time. You keep on saying, well, I have more things on my list to do, so I need to keep going, just like this ever going treadmill. And that is something that we've got to start to break the cycle of. Because really, we should feel a sense of accomplishment, right? We would think that we would be feeling a sense of accomplishment when we're getting the things done. But what this does is that we keep on keeping ourselves in a constant moving, constant running, just like the treadmill. We're just constantly going, constantly going. And we are postponing actually that sense of accomplishment and feeling. And we get into this cycle of being kind of addicted to it in a way because it keeps us moving, it keeps us going, but it doesn't really give us much time to take breaks in between, to experience inner peace and calmness in between all of these numerous things that we're doing. And in all honesty, are we really assessing and looking at, are these priorities for us? We've got to look at what the priorities are and address those first. The rest of the stuff, there's probably a lot of things that you have on your to-do list that are probably not even that important, or something that you could be delegating to somebody else on your team. If you are an entrepreneur and you do have a team, there are probably some things that you can get off of your list or that don't need to be accomplished today. So we need to start learning to notice and recognize when we are doing this to ourselves. That sense of never doing enough, never being enough, it really has a lot to do how we actually equate our own worth with our doing, not with who we are, not with our sense of being. This is very important because if we're always trying to prove something, it means that we are equating our worth and our value with our doing. And when in fact, that's nothing about who we are. Our state of being, just being who you are, is more than enough. You may be asking yourself, why is that such a problem? Well, I will tell you, the emotional cost of it is very damaging. When we are constantly wanting to earn our rest or earn to prove to ourselves or to other people or whatever we're doing our worth of getting the rest or earning an accomplishment, we keep on postponing that. So we are actually psyching ourselves out really to constantly be in motion, constantly be in movement. If we're not accomplishing something, we don't feel good. We equate feeling good with accomplishing something. And to be honest with you, some of the most productive times in my life have been whenever I have been sitting in contemplation and reflection, doing nothing, taking no action. It doesn't mean that I'm not thinking or reflecting about something, but it has been so, and I had to learn this the hard way. I remember there were many years ago that I was completely overwhelmed. I was just completely just wiped out, actually. My to-do list was growing. I had a team that I was delegating things to, but it just kept on growing and growing. And I just kept on saying, okay, well, I'll just get through this one project and then I'll take a break. And I'll just get this, this blog or article written and I'll just take a break. And it never happened. And there was a day I was in a conversation with a client of mine, a coaching client of mine, and exactly what I was telling him to do was exactly what I needed to do, that I needed to build in these breaks and stick to them. And it wasn't about what I was accomplishing that equated my value or what I was contributing. Me being me and just being in the presence was enough. And I learned that day that sometimes you can be so productive in doing nothing. Those quiet moments, those reflective times that we build into our days, into our weeks, are vitally important. They're just as important as our creative time, as our, really, doing our writing, our speaking, whatever it is, whatever your work is. It's just as important. And we've got to remind ourselves of that it's not just about the doing. I always thought that I would fall behind if I didn't do everything today. And I mean, matter of fact, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? How much do you want to accomplish in a day? Sure, by all means, I'm saying you can accomplish a lot in a day. But if you've got that mindset that it's never enough, that you can't rest until everything is done, you're never going to rest. And I know I have heard people, you've probably heard the saying too, well, I can rest whenever I'm no longer here, whenever I'm dead or whatever it is. And I cringe when I hear people say that because I'm like, enjoy your life now. Enjoy it now. It's not just about the hustle. It's also about the resting, taking the rest moments, enjoying, reflecting, course correcting along the way. Because one of the things that I have found is that some projects that I would be working on, actually midway through, I would realize, okay, we need to take a new direction in this. And if I didn't do that and just kind of push through and plowed through, then the end product would be something totally different, maybe something that I wouldn't feel proud of, or that it wouldn't resonate with people. It wouldn't be helpful for people. And that's not what my intention is. My intention is to do things that are going to help people. So this is where it becomes more important to shift our mindset. When we shift our mindset, what we're doing, that pressure is robbing you of that inner peace that you're striving to do. Because I know, as an entrepreneur, we tend to think, okay, well, I'll just get this done. Whenever I accomplish this level, whenever I get this, then I can take more time off, then I can do this, and I can do that. And I'm telling you, it never really happens unless we're conscious about it, unless we're consciously making that effort to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to build in this balance so that way I'm not overworking myself, that I'm not feeling tired, and that I'm never behind. That, I've got my priorities down. I know what I need to accomplish today, and whatever doesn't get done today will be for the next day. And I can revisit what's a priority. This is going to be very important to understand. Okay, so let's shift gears here a little bit. I want to share you three really important mindset shifts that really can help you with this. It's very important that we can gain our inner peace. We're going to feel more comfortable. We're going to have more energy. We're going to feel more vitalized. We're going to feel like we've got, control in our life, over our schedules, and balanced in everything that we're doing. The first one is that rest is not a reward. We are conditioned to think that rest needs to be a reward, that we have to do something in order to reward ourselves with rest. But you know what? Rest is a necessity. Rest is a must. It is not, it is just like your to-do list. It is one of those things on your to-do list is to rest. We don't need to justify why we need downtime, why we need time off. There were many years, as a practitioner, that I felt really guilty about taking time off. And I would get comments from patients about, oh, you're gone again? Where are you going? And I started to feel guilty. And then one day I realized, I thought, wait a second, I'm going to flip the switch. I don't think people realize what they're saying because they're only looking from their point of view of that they needed me there all the time to be available. But I kindly explained to one patient that was really pushing this, Like, because I was in that year, I remember this was several years ago, I was attending a lot of seminars. I was just beginning with my speaking career. I was doing a lot of things outside the practice. And I wasn't necessarily openly sharing that with my patients because had nothing to do with the practices. And I remember explaining to him, if I don't take care of myself, if I don't take time off, if I don't do things that I'm passionate about, if I don't have hobbies outside of here, if I don't, have a balanced family life, if I don't have all those things, I cannot be the best practitioner that I'm trying to be and be available for patients. And, it really didn't matter whether he understood it or not. He did understand it and he did get it. He actually admitted to never seeing it from that perspective because he only saw it as business needs to be open. You need to earn a lot of money and you can't earn money if you're not there, which is not true. I mean, in this day and age, we're doing business in so many different ways that we can have many passive forms of income. But I get it. That was his mindset. That was his perspective. And that one conversation really helped me realize that I no longer needed to justify whenever I was out of the office, whenever I needed time off for whatever I needed time off. Did not matter if it was personal, if it was just a day to rest, to play, to whatever it was. And this is something that we have been conditioned in our society. So just remember, we need to shift our mindset that rest is not the reward. It's a necessity. The next shift is that you are enough even without your doing. But this may be a hard one, okay? Especially if you're used to accomplishing a lot, having your long to-do list. And I'm going to tell you that your worth is not equivalent to your to-do list. You being you is good enough. It's more than enough. It's just as important as whatever you do. It is the intention behind what we do. It is the way that we do it, the way that we express ourselves, the energy that we put in, our own personal energy, our personal intention that matters. That is what we carry out into the world. Sure, there's many things that we can do, but that's not where our worth is. Our worth is being true to ourselves, being our authentic self, being as honest and compassionate and present as we can be in whatever it is we do. Knowing what your intention is, knowing what your why is much more important. So I want you to start realizing that your worth is not with what you do or how much you make. It's not equivalent to that. Your worth is you being you, authentically you. And the third mindset shift that I want to share with you today is you have to slow down to speed up. And you have heard me say this many times. If you've been following my work for a while, you will know that I say this a lot. When you slow down, when you take a time out, when you rest, you allow mindfulness to come in. You allow creativity to come in. You allow your intuition to speak to you where you can listen to it. When you allow for the downtime and you allow for the rest and you allow for these pockets of times that you're not doing, that you're just being. And it can be with meditation, it can be with journaling, and it doesn't have to be. You could be sitting there having a cup of tea, staring out into the nature. Whatever it may be, you have to slow down in order to speed up. You will get more insight, more creativity, more inspiration. It also gives you a chance to really listen to other people. One of the things that I like to do in my downtime, okay, whenever I try to slow down, is that, and I have this built into my day-to-day life, is my downtime, my slowing down time. Sometimes it is about stillness. I do like to write a lot. I do journal a lot. But also sometimes it's about watching or listening to an inspirational podcast or watching an inspirational movie that helps get my creative juices flowing, that helps inspire me. It helps motivate me. And that slowing down, I know some of my friends that are entrepreneurs as well say, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit down and watch a movie or sit down and listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook. But I find that just as important as me doing. And whenever I slow down, it usually gives me the fuel to speed up some project that I've been working on, that I've been probably, kind of feeling stuck with or whatever it is. So I want you to really look at it, these three mindset shifts that I've shared with you, and see how you can start to apply that in your own life. I mean, I know we've got a million and one things to do and only 24 hours to do it in every single day. And we need to prioritize sleep and our well-being. So that knocks off, at least 8 to 10 hours a day. So what are we doing with those other 14 hours? How are we going to utilize those that are going to not burn us out, but make us feel accomplished, but also calm and balanced? If this video resonated with you, I'd like to share with you one of my courses that I have that I created specifically to help people calm down, learn how to utilize their breath. The Power of Breath course. This breath work, which I know that a lot of you probably have heard about. Breath work is so important. It's something that we don't learn. It doesn't come naturally. Yes, we naturally all breathe, but whenever you have some intention and consciousness to it, there are different ways that you can utilize breath work in order to help you maximize your energy levels, calm down whenever you need to, maximize your quality of sleep, and keeps you in a flow throughout the day that will help you in everything that you do. So if you're interested in that, please be sure to go to our website, drashaprasad.com, and you can find that information there. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting to you next time.